Yeah, fellow Amazonians and members of Team Act, thank you for coming. I want to appreciate all the speakers, our comrade who came to help us understand the TPS. I want to equally appreciate the one I call Senior Pandangam for your contributions, and we really desire to hear more from you. I hope the recordings are done so that more than this number here will tap into the wealth of your wisdom on our issues. I want to appreciate the Team Act members for putting this together and making this a regular feature so that we can um, we can have a conversation and keep the conversation going, and we can really understand the process better and get some updates when available on what is happening in our diplomatic front, especially as to what has to do with the negotiations with La Republique du Cameroon. Ambazonia coalition team that I would like to rather maintain the short form of we call Ambazonia Team Ambazonia. For me, that makes more sense at this time because that's exactly why we are here. It's a loose association of Ambazonian liberation movements or groups and well-meaning Ambazonians who have endorsed um, a mediated settlement. And the one that's available now is the Swiss-led process. We are a group of people who have endorsed that process. So we are called the Team Ambazonia. So this is a rally name. It's a rally name for all those who accept the offer that was given to us by the international community and have endorsed this process um, to for us to seek a peaceful solution to the crisis or to the war that is going on. So ACT is not an attempt to restructure the struggle. I want to correct the thinking because that somehow when I see some people behave, I'm slow to speak because I begin to wonder what is informing their behavior. Let me clearly put this. ACT is not an attempt to restructure the struggle. No. Anyone who came to ACT thinking that, oh, this is another opportunity to restructure the struggle, it means you started with the wrong foot and probably find yourself in the wrong place. This is not an attempt to restructure the struggle. This is an attempt to galvanize all the forces, those who have seen the need for a mediated settlement to this conflict, and have agreed that the offer by the Swiss government makes sense at this time. Remember, not everyone fighting for Amazonia has endorsed a mediated settlement by the Swiss government. So this is for us our rallying name, the Team Amazonia, because there will be a team. It's an expression of our willingness to meet La Republique as a collective under the leadership of the people. So henceforth, it's more befitting for us to know ourselves as the Team Amazonia. Otherwise, we should be called the Amazonia delegation. We are not yet a delegation. When that will be constituted, it will be a delegation. But now we are Team Amazonia, the team that we are putting together. We gather as Team Amazonia so that we can as a lose member is a membership made up of it's a loose creation coalition of individuals and groups, and this loose association is necessary at this time for what? So that we can start planning together. We can still be on our own until the D day and the bell rings, and we convene a meeting and say, how do we get there? Because there's need for some preparation to be done and certain decisions to be reached before the D day. Then we need to work together, plan together, so that together we become a kind of clearinghouse for certain decisions that may need to be taken before the negotiation proper. Uh, this makes the process transparent and accountable. This is this is what we decided from the beginning when we were approached by the international community with this offer. We decided that this is the best way to go about this, and I brought the invitation to the SC to the group that we're trying to put together to create the council, the SCLC. I brought the opportunity to the table because I saw that there was need for us to do it together, plan it together, to project to the world that we are going to meet La Republic as a collective. Now, this syndrome of this every time we try to gather together, some people come and say, "There's no leader here." It's hypocritical. It's insincere. It's selfish and self-serving. Sometimes it's borderline nonsense. Because we say let's do this, people come together and they just arrive there. The first rule, I've had this experience in many things. I don't want to name them. They get there and say, "There's no leader here. We don't want any leader here," and that is the problem. That is the problem because we are helping the enemy in his arguments and narratives and his talking points. When we gather to do something, even when we know from our consciences, looking at ourselves on the mirror, we know that there is leadership here. Leadership is not an award. It is in this business of liberation. It is discovered by it is by discovery. You have to discover leadership by setting by in fact the struggle has to define its leaders. Every struggle defines its leaders. Yes, it's the struggle that defines the leaders, not intellectuals. The struggle itself defines its leaders. So when you reject the leadership that the struggle itself defines, then you have a problem. Then that's the problem. We get to a place we're trying to put ourselves together. The international committee is waiting. Who is the leader here? Somebody comes and says, "There's no leader here." All of us here like this. There's no leader here. All of us here are leaders. Just politicking with the destiny of our people, not understanding why the international community is asking that question, and not caring what your answer brings. Your answer is actually such an answer endorses the Republic's position that we don't even know who to talk to. In a small way, you just confirm to them that they are right. Because you want to talk to anybody, talk to all of us anyhow, separately or collectively anyhow, because there's no leader, all of us are the same. Let me remind us something. because this struggle was started by individuals after Fumban when they discovered that this was a sham. This experiment was a sham. Individuals started opposing and started trying to call the attention of the system that something is wrong. The individuals did not succeed. The individuals went ahead to create groups, and those groups tried to, to bring the Southern Cameroons together as one to fight this common enemy. The groups did not succeed because they did a lot. They worked so hard, but they lacked the magic that will galvanize all of the Southern Cameroons into one energy pot against the adversary. Then the magic of bringing everyone from the diaspora to the home front all together in agreement to fight as a common front. They did not succeed in that. So that's why our history prior to this move at this time was one of a lot of individual exploits. This group made some exploits sometime. This other group made one exploit sometime. This one raised a flag. This one wrote a manifesto. This one went to Banjul. This other one. So nothing that really galvanized all of us as one in one pot to face La Republic. And it was dying in the hands of groups. The struggle was dying in the hands of groups. That is why the consortium came as an alternative. You know what? Here's the spirit of the consortium. The spirit of the consortium was the people. The power of the consortium was the power of the people. So since they could not, all they could put together now was say, okay, we are all trade unions, all of us are representing every little trade union, the people brought together to express that desire. And you saw immediately there was an ignition of fire on the ground because they found the magic. The people came, So at that particular moment, there was a transition, an evolution from individuals to group, from group to the people. The concept of the consortium is what led to when they were banned and it came to the diaspora, and then in order to capitalize on that energy, that people's energy, that is how Sako and the governing council of all, beginning with the consortium, with the rest of us groups that we were, came together to form the interim government. And I can tell you that no group in our history has come close to bring us together in one spirit, as one people, as one nation, to pursue one goal and one enemy, like we have done as a government. Because here is the thing: the government belongs to everybody. The groups belongs to their members. That's the truth. The groups belong to their members. Every group essentially belongs to its members and is answerable to its members. But who is the interim government answerable to? Who are the members of the interim government? The interim government is answerable to the people. That's why whatever the interim government has, they say it belongs to everybody. Some people say, why did we collect money and share to everybody because we are the government? In fact, we are annoyed that we are collecting money to prosecute the struggle. We are not sharing it to everybody. What informs that expectation? Because it is the government. It is not a group. It did not dissolve any group. It is the only umbrella that cuts across every political tribe or affiliation in Amazonia. And whether we acknowledge it or not, that is what La Republic fears most. But unfortunately, for whatever reasons and interests, some people are willing to help assuage the fears of the enemy. They say, don't worry, you fear the interim government, don't worry. We shall make sure that there is no interim government. You fear that thing that brings us together and make sure that that diminishes our differences, our and brings all us together, all of us as one. Don't worry, I will help you. I will not recognize that. There will be no all of us. There's nothing like that. It does not exist. Here's something like that. Helping the enemy desperately to convince the international community that we were only a group of people who were not a nation. The LGAs of the interim government belongs to everybody. All of us sitting here belong to one group or the other. Some people belong to about 4 groups before now. Right now, when you are in your LGA, who asks about the group? Nobody. Nobody cares about your group. When you are in your LGA in your county, when you are going to draft for Mezankan, who cares about the group? That is where, when it comes to the interim government, the groups are just think tanks. They are no longer the uniting force, because the energy is here, where we see ourselves as people of Amazonia first, before you start telling me which identity card is in your pocket. But our fellow brothers and sisters rejected that fact, and it will continue to haunt us, or if not haunt the struggle. But God will have his way though, because this idea of there is no, in fact, denying that the leadership of the IG when it's necessary for us to have a leader or leadership, it sounds like granting the wishes of our adversary. It sounds like we don't want to meet La Republique as a national delegation. And only the never Ambazonia camp. The never Ambazonia camp is the people who don't want to see Ambazonia happen, or the independence happen. And La Republique, those are the people for which such a statement makes sense. Let me also assure us, it's not boastful talk, but it's just fact. If La Republique is coming to the table today, maybe they have decided to come to the table next week on Sunday, who do you think will know first? For those people who are constituting themselves, they are the negotiators now. They want to do their own. When they contacted us in the first place, who did they contact? They contacted the IG. You think their thinking has changed, right? It has not changed, because the international community recognizes that which is some are, for selfish reasons, are unwilling to recognize. The international community recognizes it. When the international community is telling Paul Biya to meet us in Boya, to meet with Ambazonia, to go to Switzerland, are all the groups in Switzerland? Are all the groups with Switzerland? Are we not heard them make public statements that they don't want anything to happen in Switzerland? They prefer to talk to Yaoundé, or they prefer a Norway process, and an American professors, or whatever, Norwegian professors and so on. They say they are not for this and they say they are not for the Swiss-led process. Is it all the groups? I don't know people in Yaoundé, Kondé prison who say that they are not for this, they are not for the Swiss-led process. The international community says doing everything behind the scene, compelling La Republique to go to Switzerland. To meet who? To meet who? Why is it so? It's because whether it is what we wanted to hear or not, the principle of the conflict is for that process. That's it. That is why they said you must go there. So if for the initial invitation, many of us wrote, many who finally wrote and then refused that they wrote. They wrote to the Switzerland. The Swiss responded to us. And now there is a lot of work going on in the background. Are you sure that when the Swiss will be ready or the La Republique is ready and say they are coming to the table, they want to see us, are you sure that I will not be the first to know? Who else among the groups is receiving such um, updates about what is going on a daily basis concerning this process? So we either accept the reality and we work together. The IG has not come to take away somebody's treasure house. We are just be doing what we do. We lead in everything we do. We lead on the home front. We lead in helping our farmers. We lead in raising the money. We lead in paying the bills. We lead in helping the refugees. We lead. And now we are just leading. And when this information will reach our table, and I pray it should be sooner than later, that La Republique is meeting us on the table. This house, the Ambazonian coalition team, as many as remain that endorse this process still and have not changed their minds because of the power of dollar or whatever the influence may be. As many as remain in this house, we shall be informed and we shall constitute and the final delegation of whatever that will be working with our expert negotiator will be put together. It shall not be an organization so that it will not be defined by membership. I hate the idea of creating an organization to be in charge of negotiation because every organization belongs to its members. We have to constitute a delegation so that that delegation is answerable to Ambazonians because an organization will be answerable to its membership. But a delegation of people that will be selected for this process for Amazonia shall be answerable to Amazonia. When we subscribe to this team Amazonia here, we are coming together, we are joining forces to prepare ourselves and to prepare for the process, to understand the process better and prepare for it face by face, to get ready for every next step. Yes, because we've never passed through this before. This is the first time. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to say we will continue working as a team. There are some who were there in the beginning and they dropped. Some dropped and then they came back and they dropped again. But we are here and will continue to be here as the interim government to provide leadership. We said that this will not be a selfish process, it shall be a collective one. And yours truly, as far as it depends on us, it will be for all of us. But we will not cede the place of leadership to anybody because of a numerical advantage in the inside and office space. Our leadership in this process is because of our leadership in the struggle. We are going to share this space as we designed it from the beginning, that as it was in Fumban. I'm not talking about the outcome, but I'm talking about the process. There will be an Amazonian delegation. It will not be us here alone. We are encouraging all our women, all our men, all of us. You come from one local government or the other, and you can be you know that you can be you have some expertise in one thing to or the other. We are going to reach out to you people and start bringing you closer to be part of what is going on in this preparatory exercise. We are building a team. We are not creating another organization. So thank you very much, and God will continue to help us till we reach Boya.
Allegiance to the heroes who bore counties and LDA chairs, and all the Amazonians who are here today. And I'm so grateful you guys adhered to our call to be in this meeting. I'm sorry for the technical hitch that I couldn't be before the president, but sometimes I always like that disappointment because he has spoken everything that I should have explained here, except his calmness and diplomatic way of doing things, which I'm going to go another level, although I stand as his chief diplomat. But he has done the process of diplomacy and let me do the one of the truth. So, yeah, we heard from the Secretary of State for Women Affairs, Dr. Martha Shens, and I'm going to continue from where she left. And I just take the last part of the president's message to the people of Amazonia, saying that when La Republique will be ready, or while we are already ready, when La Republique will be ready to come to the table, Amazonian people will be informed, and that we are not going as an organization to talk to La Republique in Cameroon. That I really picked very, very serious. ACT is already an organization, and I wouldn't say we are wasting our time now trying to educate people what ACT stands for and what ACT is for. We have already done that several times. I think ACT is running now going to since 2019, so 3 years plus. And a lot of people are still confused and don't really know